Cheers to the vinyl community and people who are just on YouTube who are interested in music and vinyl. Alright. Haven't posted any videos for a little while. Just been busy like everyone else. I've been posting content like Instagram, clips like that, and on the Reels. So, still posting stuff. Just haven't had time to sit down and ramble on into the camera. But I do right now, so we're going to do a little video. Alright. Been trying to hold, well, I haven't been trying to hold back, just been trying to buy less vinyl. I feel like the 2 years I've bought more vinyl than I ever bought in my life. I feel like I've talked about it before. I feel it's a combination of things, from being at home a lot, watching a lot of other channels, which I'm totally fine with. But now I want to be able to soak in everything I've gotten and go back to some old stuff. It's like the great thing about buying tons of new albums is you get to listen to tons of new albums. The bad thing is you're taking time away from re-listening to old stuff, and I feel like in the stuff you've gotten recently, you haven't got enough time to spend when you're constantly just always on the hunt. But if that's, it's like collecting records is a combination of multiple things. First it's always the music, but then you're getting artwork. There's a collection side of aspect. It's a bunch of different parts that get you. But overall, been doing okay. Haven't gone to I went to the record store and just bought a CD, which was rare. I did a video about that. But anyways, I do have a few things coming in the mail. So a CD came in the mail that I ordered a while back, and I realized I talked about it. I have it on vinyl. It was one of the first cassette tapes I ordered when I was a kid on my own. Anyways, Black Flag Damage. I realized I didn't have a copy on CD. I have it on vinyl. I thought I had just maybe a disc without the case, but I was like, you know what? I need to get a brand new copy of this because I didn't have one. So anyways, came in the mail, and listened to it. Sounds great. CD versus vinyl. My vinyl's a reissue from back in the day. I got it a lot, like 20 years ago, but it's not an original. It has a barcode on there. But great artwork. I've always thought it's probably like, there's so many albums that have great artwork, but this is one of them. The back, how I like how the writing's in red, and it's the dark background. Anyways, their logo was always cool, even though I'm pretty sure they stole it from some bug spray possibly. But anyways, listening to it, it's in the CD player right now. It's weird. This album just brings back memories of me. When I was a young kid, I lived in my parents' old it was a room they built in the garage and turned it into a studio. But it had a big indentation into the wall or whatever. And you went back, because that's where they had all the recording equipment. It didn't go back too far, but it went back a little ways. So that's where I had my shelves and my stereo, my little tiny stereo that was all, it was a turntable, a radio, and a cassette tape player. No disc player, that's how old it was. It was a hand-me-down from my sister. But anyways, I'd be rocking out to Black Flag, and I've talked about how I got, I was watching MTV News, and I'm pretty sure I knew who Henry Rollins was, but I hadn't heard any of his Black Flag, his other band, and I know he had a band before that, I think called State of Alert, but it's not as good as Black Flag. So anyways, I ordered the cassette tape, went there, got it. So anyways, I realized I don't have it on CD, got a copy, and it's, back in the day when they weren't reissuing all this stuff they are on vinyl, back in the day, if I couldn't find it on vinyl, I just accepted it and would go get it on CD. So back in the 90s, from the late 90s into the 2000s, I'm pretty sure at that time I had more CDs than vinyl possibly, or at least maybe an equal amount. But I had a lot of stuff on CD that I didn't have on vinyl, and vice versa probably. But still, there was just a lot of metal, a lot of punk. Like most of my record collection, it seemed back then, was just a lot of blues, some like jazz fusion, guitar player stuff, and it was had some jazz in there or whatever. And yeah, by 2004 I had some jazz in there. But in the 90s, my collection wasn't huge, you know what I mean? But it was just one of those things to where back in the 90s, you still listen to a lot of CDs. And now I still try to listen to CDs where I have a stereo set up in the other bedroom that's with a CD player, with 2 CD players. And I could have unhooked one of them and put it in my main spot where I chill the most. And so, but I got that one on Marketplace. And it's been nice. I've been going and grabbing CDs out of my collection. And I still have some stuff on CD that I don't have on vinyl. So anyways, don't completely abandon your CD player. You know what I mean? It's good to go back to it every now and then. Obviously, that's if you're old school. I enjoy putting something in the damn machine, hitting play. I think it's been a process, and I don't mind streaming music, but I don't like putting something on shuffle and just letting it play. I don't mind doing it. I've done it sometimes. I have put Spotify and just pick something because I don't pay for it, so I just kind of will pick shit that's random. So anyways, are at the same genre. I think that's how it works. So anyways, but yeah, it's crazy how it just brings back a lot of memories. And this is my old cassette tape player. I can't remember the first time I remember. I was staying at my sister's. I was a little kid staying at my sister's house. She was going to college in Santa Cruz. My older sister, and there was like some hippie dude there. He's like, "Oh, you like Nirvana? They have an album before Nevermind." And Incesticide had already came out, but the weird thing about Incesticide, that came out after Nevermind, even though the recordings were before Nevermind. But he was like, there's an actual album, called Bleach. And I was, anyways, so I had my dad driving, and I had my dad drive me down to Warehouse Records when I was a little kid. And, got this. And when I put it on, I hear that first riff, it literally brings back the memory of my dad. And so my dad came back in 91. Had a bicycle. Some of you know my dad was homeless when I was a young kid, from 2 to all the way to 91. So 2 to 10, basically, 2 to 11. And he came back. He got a job at a dealership doing customer service. Got a mountain bike and was riding across town to my aunt's where he stayed at. And he eventually, my grandpa on my dad's side had passed away, and he got my grandpa's Oldsmobile, which was like an old person's car. It was like a blue Oldsmobile that had half the window. My dad got half of it tinted. But anyways, drove me in that Oldsmobile, and got the Bleach, and it's just weird when I hear on cassette tape with the hiss and the sound. I remember tripping out, just like, whoa, there is an album before Nevermind. Like, being a young little kid, it would not even have occurred to me to think, maybe they have an album before this big thing on MTV. But when you're a little kid, and the way MTV worked, it just seemed like that was their first album. But getting this is what kind of made me on the hunt of trying to find other stuff that might not be put on the radio or on MTV. Or I feel like this got the bug rolling of trying to find stuff that sounds killer that no one knows about. Because it seemed like at the time when I got this, obviously other people knew about Bleach, that's how I found out about it. But a lot of the younger people, my friends hadn't heard of it, you know what I mean? So I was ahead of the game. And it seemed like a lot of other people around that time hadn't gotten Bleach. They eventually did. Especially after, I think, the Unplugged performance happened. Because they played About a Girl. And there was like, what's the fuck, this is a new song? No, it's an old song. That's a song that's on Bleach. So I told you I've gone completely old school. I did get, I think I already showed this. I've been listening to The Longest Line. I got that for $4. Super stoked. And I did get a second copy of Betty by Helmet. Just a good old album. But yeah, well, watched this the other night on VHS. Still a good movie. This is actually when I was a little kid. I watched this. This is what made me want to listen to Nina Simone. True story. Oh, where I got that phrase "true story" back in the day. Okay, without going into too much detail about my lifestyle, which you guys already heard me go into detail. Let's just say, things were pretty crazy. And there was this crazy tweaker dude named Kurt. I don't know what happened to him now. I'm pretty sure he's doing well in life. I hope. I really don't know. I can't remember I never even knew his last name. But I think he was in the Navy or something strange like that. But he was a hardcore tweaker dude, and he would always be like, true story, and it didn't seem that true most of the time. But anyways, a good movie. And I just feel like I've still been streaming some stuff, some UFO documentaries, but it's just cool to go back to old school. 12 Monkeys. It's a fucking really good movie. It's a trippy movie. It's cool because it's about time travel, and my dad was obsessed with time travel, and I find it's weird how you can technically time travel into the future. They say there's like a fucking barrier that's preventing people from going back, and that's like the proof there's a higher power. Who knows? That's what Stephen Hawking and some of these physicists say. And so anyways, I find that shit straight crazy because, I mean, anything's possible. you know, in the realm of possibilities. So, all right, I got Pump Up the Volume on VHS. I have this on DVD. It's kind of hard to find, it seems like, on DVD now. I'm sure you can find a copy on eBay or whatever, but this is a killer movie. This is kind of what made me realize, like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I lived in this little studio, my little man cave when I was a kid, and, you know what I mean? Like, I was pretty quiet sometimes, and, you know what I mean? It's a cool movie about a dude who has his own little DJ radio show out of his basement, because his parents are new to Arizona, and he's moved from the city, but his parents got him all this cool equipment to communicate with his friends back east, you know, this radio equipment so he can get on the, you know, frequencies that aren't being used on the AM or whatever. And I guess back in the day there was bootleg radio state where people would just set up their own equipment and get in there, which I think that I wonder if people still do that. I'm not sure. Maybe I should read into it and find out. But I think now because YouTube and all this shit that's taken away from this. But anyways, that movie portrays that whole type of shit you guys do. But it's basically him venting about the shitty shit in high school. Anyways, if you have not seen Pump Up the Volume, check it out. Most likely anyone who's into fucking the vinyl community has seen this damn movie. Great soundtrack, by the way, which I have on cassette tape. I don't have on vinyl, which I totally need. And hopefully we'll eventually get. You know, I put on Scarface there and I fell asleep. I made it almost to the end of the. It's cool because I like that it's a double film because that's what you had to do back in the day. You knew it was a long movie when it was one of these fat ass. When I was a kid, you're like, there's no way I'm renting this. So I didn't watch Scarface until I was a teenager. And then we were like, whoa, Scarface. It's kind of interesting because it takes place the year I was born, technically. So it's kind of interesting to see what was going on in the world because even though the story itself is not true, a lot of this shit was going down in Florida back in the day, and I'm sure in other spots too. It's just kind of, so it's kind of interesting. And now that getting older, you know, and getting older doesn't feel like you thought when you're younger. So if you're younger, don't trip out too hard, but still like have discipline and do what you want to do. Help others out and all that good shit. But yeah, it's weird how like the 80s music's back and it's this music, obviously 80s music, you know, a lot of like disco 80s shit. Anyway, everybody knows Scarface. I like Scarface because also Tony Montana, Ty Miles, we share the same initials. You know what I mean? And then I haven't watched it. I've seen Friday, but I haven't watched it on the old VHS. And I'm just, like I said, it's like using cassette tape players, the VCR. I just feel like, too, like, everything you stream, not that this fucking matters, fucking for you conspiracy nerds out there, but it's still like, anything you do stream technically is listed, which is fine. I don't give a fuck if they know I'm watching Friday or Scarface, but still it's, yeah, well, technically your phone's on, so they know through your phone. So either way, but I don't give a shit about that. But it's just cool because it just like you have to stop, you have to rewind this motherfucker. You have to put in some type of effort to watch it. You know what I mean? And like, I swear shit's gotten so easy, which I'm fine with. Totally, you know what I mean? But when it's gotten too convenient, it's not as fun. I feel like it's just, it doesn't mean as much. Like, it's awesome, but I think when it's so easy, it makes you take it for granted. Anyone relate to that? I don't know. I'm trying to keep this short. I'm having coffee. These are the thoughts that would just go around in my head. I'll play guitar, think about all the strange stuff. So I'm just going to go through it with you guys. Really strange. I'm actually getting a text message from my sister right now, the one I was talking about. So anyways, it was cool. Coffee. Cough. Phlegm issues. Anyways, anybody ever been out to Santa Cruz, California? It's a really unique town. That's where Lost Boys was filmed out. The vampire movie that they call it Santa Carla. But it's this really unique town where everyone is very... Most towns in California, people aren't that prideful, like, oh, you know, keep our town good. And some are, but Santa Cruz represents that, even though there is a big homeless culture there. But the community of Santa Cruz is very awesome. They support being a musician. There's a huge surf culture there. There's a rivalry between the east and the west part of the surf area. And so Steamer's Lane and like the Point and the Hook are kind of like, I'm pretty sure separate, one's east, one's west. But anyways, they don't, if you do go to one of these surf spots, you better not even break the rules and, you know, snake in someone's wave. They will fuck you up. You know what I mean? They won't fuck you up the first time right away. Maybe someone will. But they'll give you a warning. Hey, like if it was on accident, like, hey, do you know the rules to where if someone's deeper in the wave, it's hands off. But if you're doing it on purpose, oh yeah. I remember one time I was at a spot back in the day. I haven't been surfing in ages, but when I lived in California, I go surfing after work and everything, and I was on a decent sized wave, enough to where when I dropped in, this dude was so far to the left, but he had the right of way. But I thought there's no way he'll be able to reach me, so I was kind of just gonna shoulder hop this. It was a decent wave, and I was already right there. But man, this motherfucker seen me. And so he zigzagged his little shortboard. I was on a longboard, and he got to me. I mean, I'm talking like a distance here, like 30 yards of this wave. I mean, this dude's way over here. It was one of those things that was really wide wave, not super tall, but just. And I thought too, there's a possibility he might go left. You know what I mean? But no, he seen me, and he was like zigzag, zigzag. And so I got out of his way so he could go around me, and I can still continue surfing. And as he's going around me, he grabbed the nose of my board and fucking tipped me over. And yeah, I wasn't happy about it. But that, you know what I mean? It was no big deal. And he was more just laughing about it. Like, motherfucker, you knew I had the right of way. So, but that's surfing. Anyway, but Santa Cruz, it's neat to go visit that town because it's where the Catalyst is at. A real famous venue that anyone who comes through California that's well known or somewhat big plays there. Like one time Rob Zombie did like a club tour when he was already huge, and that's where he stopped through. Willie Nelson plays the Catalyst when he comes to Santa Cruz. Even though they have a civic center, the Santa Cruz Civic, which is a lot bigger than the Catalyst, it has personality because of the history of it. But the Catalyst is like this old trippy building where you walk and had a big atrium in the front, which they now walled off and made a separate venue, but it used to be all open, but it's still all in the same building. But anyways, go check out Santa Cruz. It's really unique. And if you're on that area, you can get to big, hop on the Highway 1 and go check out Monterey, Carmel, and Point Lobos, and then Big Sur. Or you're going down. Either way. So yeah, I just been like I said, I've been going old school, and today I'm going to pick up another box. Somebody's selling over 80 VHS movies. I don't want them all, but there's like at least 30 really good movies in the stack, and I'll get rid of the rest somehow. But yeah, and I'm gonna make a library, and I already have like over 500 DVDs, and people are like, that's irrelevant, you can stream all this shit, and it probably is. Someday I'll be like, why did? But I probably these DVDs back in the day I paid full price back when they first came out, but when I first came here, it was pawn shops. You could just get DVDs for like fucking 50 cents a piece, so I would be able to get a good little stack every now and then for pretty cheap. So, but now again, you can still stream all this shit. So I don't want to go overboard, but nice to have a little cool old VHS collection, which I do at my other place, my cabin. I have shelves set up with like fucking good stack of badass. Basically, it's my old VHS collection before DVDs came out that I kept. So. A lot of horror movies, which I guess those are like worth something now. Like some of these motherfucking horror movies that are used are going for like $18 or $20 if the case is in good shape. So it's kind of fucking funny how all this shit has gone up. I guess that's just part of like as you age, shit becomes an antique. Yeah, and so maybe I should at least maybe show a record. Which one have I been listening to? I've been listening to obviously a bunch. Alright, yeah, sorry this is taking so long. I'm just looking at the stack I've been listening to and some of the stuff I've already talked about. Alright. I realized Rush Signals. A good friend of mine was texting me the other night and he was like, do you have Rush Signals? He's like, I was like, an album I really enjoyed it. He's like, your stepdad didn't like that album so much, but and I look and of course it's got the Music Zone price tag. So where I ordered that cassette tape, the Black Flag back when I was a little kid, I got this from there. Now they moved to a different location, but I want to say I got this one from the original location, possibly. So, Uh, open it up, it's in mint condition. The case is looks its age, but stoked. Anybody a fan of that album? I put it on. I enjoyed it. And I kind of cheated the other night. I was at Walmart, and they had all these Eagles. I wanted to get the live one a while back. I'm not the biggest Eagles fan, but I already have an original copy of this OG pressing, but mine's a little beat up. I played the shit out of it. I've had it since I was very young, so I was like, screw it. It has a little, this one comes as like a backstage pass. I mean, it's cool because it's a good quality record. For a reissue, I was impressed about the Eagles. So yeah, it comes with this cool little backstage pass. And I mean, this fucking, who knows, maybe you can fucking, when they come to town, throw it on a necklace. Fucking, I doubt that's gonna work, but hey, it's worth a try. But yeah, for $24, hey, screw it. Why not get a reissue of a historic album? Now, what's the controversy of this album, you say? Is there controversy over this album? Supposedly there is a song on here you can play backwards, and it says some weird shit. I can't remember. But, so, on the album cover, supposedly, let's see if you can see it, over here, by the chandelier over here, supposedly that's, what Anton LaVey, that Satanist guy, and it does look like there's someone popping their head out. I don't know if it's going to be hard to see it from here, obviously, but see if I can get my fingers. So right here, it's inside the chandelier, right there. Okay, see that? It looks like someone's bald head, and he's peeking over. If you look closely, it looks like he's holding a knife with a little sign that says hello. Okay, I added that part. But anyways, you see the reflection off his head right there? So I mean, this album cover, this is a weird fucking picture. Is this Photoshop back in the day, or was this a real picture? Most likely a real picture, but was this backstage? And what's even more strange, so the way it shows the inside than it shows this, when I was a little kid, there's a spot we would go through, oh gosh, Santanella or some shit. And a hotel that looked like this, and I used to think that was this same spot. It has palm trees. It's identical to this, but it's not. And it's out in the middle of nowhere, so I always, as a young kid. True story, at that spot when I was a little kid, my family was on the way to Modesto. We stopped at the McDonald's to fucking use the restrooms. I come in the bathroom, and the fucking minivan's gone. Okay? They're playing a prank on me, obviously, right? I'm a little kid. It's talking like 3rd grade, okay? Scary people in the world. By the bathrooms that aren't even attached to the McDonald's. They're across the whole parking lot. Looks like it's all fucking sketchy. And there's a bunch of semi-truck spots all over, because it's like this spot between this, you go all these, to get to LA and shit. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. They forgot me. And they didn't realize for a fucking while, which is, shows how special I was. So they're like, hey, pass the burger back to Ty eventually. God, she's quiet back there. I swear, I was there for like 45 fucking minutes. I mean, that means they didn't remember for 20 minutes. And luckily, I had my switchblade on me and shit. Pack of gum, I was good to go. But, I'm sitting there outdoors. Anyone could have taken me. This wasn't the first time either. Okay. Either way, true story. There you go. All right, guys, I gotta go and do shit for the day. Thanks for hanging out with me while I drink my coffee. I do have some stuff coming in the mail. Like I said, I will be getting some vinyl. I want to try to keep down once a month. Now, usually when I've said this, that was total bullshit, and it became like once a week or once a day. So, but yeah, I think you finally, I'm gonna have to do an episode on even what's the right amount. What's the perfect amount of records to have in your collection? It's always gonna grow a little bit, but like 500, 1,000, 100. You know what I mean? Realistically, if you move a lot, I think the perfect amount, just so you still have some records, like some albums that are really important to you, of albums that you really want to have on vinyl. 300 to 500. Still move, not have too much fucking, still have a decent stereo that's not too hard to move. Maybe. That's a whole other discussion. Anyways, stay positive, play lots of vinyl. It turns out some people who watch my YouTube channel are interested in my band. Played on Sunday, and a lady came up to me saying, "Hey, I follow you on Instagram." It turns out she had sent me a message back in December, and I think because I wasn't following her, for whatever reason, it didn't come. It was in the message request or whatever. But then once I realized this person followed me, I followed her back, and I seen the message. So luckily, because I had mentioned on an Instagram post that our band was playing, her and her friend got to come see the band. So super awesome. Right on, thanks for that. So if there's anyone else out there that's watching this, that's in the Central Texas area that wants to see one of my bands play, go to Ty Miles and thehardtimes.com. It's TYEE, Miles, MILES, and thehardtimes.com. It has most of our shows listed there. We have a residency at this one spot, and we didn't have it posted there, so that's how this person was missing out. But we're gonna make sure we post all that stuff. I'm not in charge of the website. Kind of more my bass player's part, but yeah, it's easy to do and all that stuff. So, and I think I can do it if I want to. So, I just have to get the access to it and all that stuff. So, anyways, guys, I'll see you guys next time, and yeah, later, bye.